Hello, everyone. Again, thank you for joining this session. You're welcome. It's a big honor to have you join this call. I see a lot of people are here. I'm just looking through the participant list. I'm seeing Joseph, I'm seeing Moses, I'm seeing Blessing, a lot of people. So wherever you're joining us from, please, in the chat box, just let us know if you are joining us from Nigeria, which part of Nigeria. If you're joining from any of the African countries, let us know where you're joining. And you can do that with your country flags. Rep your country in the chat box. Let us know where you're joining us from on this session. I see our speakers are already here. Caren is here. Anil is here. Just checking to see if Dr. is also on the call at the moment. So please drop in the chat box wherever you're joining this session from. Let us know which part of the continent or which part of the world you're joining this session from. Oh, okay. The messages have started coming in. Dr. Rosie joining from Nigeria. Happy to see you on the call, Doctor. I will have Joseph joining from South Sudan. Where else do we have here? Oh, I see Nigeria. Nirat joining from Nigeria. Godfrey from Kenya. Precious from Nigeria. Oh, all the way from Peru. Welcome, Meluska. I hope I got the name correct. Thank you for joining. Oh, Aminu from Adamawa, Nigeria. Okay. Afolabi from Abuja. Karen joining all the way from Nairobi. Welcome, Karen, one of our distinguished speakers for today. We have someone joining from Borno State, Nigeria. Gideon from Nigeria. Please, if you're just joining, let us know where you're joining this call from. And I think for the sake of time, we just go. Yeah, it's a pleasure meeting Dr. Rosie, one of the huge supporters of our community. Thank you for making our time to be here. James is also here from Abuja. So I think without waste of time, thank you again, everybody, for making our time with the other things that we have scheduled for today. So in this session, this is the outline. We hope that we're able to cover everything here. So you have taken welcome remarks, and then we'll move to housekeeping, icebreaker, then we'll talk a little bit about MA Sphere, and then we'll move to introduction of our speakers, then we'll go into the conversation proper, and thereafter we'll give you opportunity to ask 1 or 2 questions, and then we wrap things off on this session. So here are our housekeeping for today. Yeah, this is a virtual space, but then there are things we are expected to do. So please, we like everybody to stay mute if you're not speaking, and then use the chat wisely for your questions and anything you want to pass across. And then stay on the topic for the purpose of this conversation, like that you limit everything here that you're going to talk about to the topic of the day. And then when you want to call our attention or when you want to speak, please use the raise hand feature so that we can see you and be able to give you the opportunity to talk. Yeah, so that is our housekeeping rules for today. And then so let's go into our icebreaker to kick this off now. So this is it. You're going to just type in the chat box your response to this question. So if you could have, unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would that be? Now you can link that to your profession as an MIE person. What is that one thing that you wouldn't mind having unlimited supply of for the rest of your life? I'll just read through the chat box to see some of your responses. Oh, Dr. Rose is saying internet subscription, she wouldn't mind. Money, Nira Gyani says she would not mind having unlimited supply of money for the rest of her life. Cash. Okay, more responses. What is that one thing money from Joy? Achieva is saying data. Unlimited supply of internet. Okay. I see internet is topping the chart now. A lot of people want to stay online. Fine, is saying ability to stay awake and not sleep. What will you do with the 24 hours without sleeping? Fine. Okay, Joy is saying connections. I wonder what the connection here means. Unlimited supply of data. Okay, the question again goes, if you could have unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would that be? What would you choose? Let me take more responses before. It's a funny one, unlimited supply of bread. Well, we have a bread fan here. I can imagine what you do with bread for, the whole of the week. Eventually you get tired. But I mean, thank you for your response, Joy. I see money coming again. Happiness. Can happiness be supplied? I mean, more often than not, it varies. Like there's nothing, no happy ever after, like people say. Okay, unlimited supply of meat coming from innovative ideas that can always fly. Okay, unlimited supply of innovative ideas. Somebody saying good food, tech. Godfrey, I'm curious to understand how unlimited supply of tech can ease your life or make you feel more happy. So I thank you for your responses. Thank you, everybody. It's, interesting to see different perspective to what actually, people hold dear to their hearts. I would never know somebody want unlimited supply of bread. So let's move right away. Just let me check my participant list to be sure that all our facilitators are here. Looking through now, I see. Okay, so a bit about MIS Fair. For those of you who are new, who are just coming on this session because maybe somebody invited you, I like to mention that this session is put together by MIS Fair. And MIS Fair is a capacity building initiative that empowers young professionals with tailor-made MIE information, resources, and skill to bridge the talent gap in the development space. Why MIS Fair? MIS Fair came as a result of, personal experience of people complaining there are no opportunity on one hand, and you hear employers saying there are no talent to take up this opportunity. So we feel in our own way we will come up with this initiative to support by bridging this gap. And then our vision is to enhance youth participation in MIE processes, thereby fostering their voices and contribution for sustainable development. And the mission of the initiative is to empower young professionals with information, resources, and skills to harness the opportunities that are available in the development space and even in MIE as a career. We do this through webinars such as this. We share information, we share opportunities. We have a community on WhatsApp, very vibrant community where you can be part of. And the beauty of MIE Sphere is that it's a collection of people who share the same passion, people who are actually practicing MIE, or people who have passion. Person here in Nigeria, another person is there in Kenya, and all together we're working towards the same purpose. So it's like pulling people together who share the same interests and they're able to disseminate information at their disposal to the community. So that is what makes MIE Sphere unique. So again, thank you for joining us on this all-important session. So now we'll go right away to introduce our speakers. I'm super excited that we're having this caliber of people to talk to us today. From the first to the left, in no particular order, we'll have Dr. Zakariya Zakari, and then we'll have Caren all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, and then we'll go all the way to Washington, D.C., where Anil will be joining us from. So to do justice to our facilitators profile, I'll be inviting.
Thank you. Everybody is
someone
coming out.
If you want to talk, can you raise your hand so that I recognize that? Otherwise, I may not be able to know who is speaking. So, okay, I will just go ahead and invite some members of the MIE Sphere team to read the profile of our speakers for today. And I'll be starting with Dr. Zakariya. We are inviting the member of the community to read his profile. If you're ready, please can you signify so that we'll give you the right in case your mic is muted. Is Shezi on the call?
Hello, Godwin. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hi. We can hear you. Can you proceed to read the biography of our first speaker? On the left, Dr. Zakariya. Yeah, I think she might be having network
Can you
issues.
hear me?
Your line is breaking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. All right. All right. I'll proceed to introduce Dr. Zakariya Zakari. He is a monitoring, evaluation, assessment, and learning specialist with 16 years of progressive working experience on different interventions by FCDO, European Union, and national governments. He worked as a data quality assessment specialist with IBTCI in Bangladesh on USAID Accelerated Capacity for Monitoring and Evaluation project. Previously, he served as the Deputy Chief of Party of USAID Monitoring and Evaluation Management Services, the Michelle Group Incorporated project in both rounds 1 and 2 in Nigeria, a project that provided technical support in performance monitoring, work planning, and data quality assessment to USAID and its implementing partners. Zakari has worked with all USAID technical teams, peace, democracy and governance, health, population and nutrition, HIV/AIDS, education, economic growth, and the program office. He specialized in evaluation planning and management, developing data collection tools from the evaluation matrix, and participated in the conduct of evaluations for all technical areas. He participated in conducting large-scale and complex evaluations using a range of evaluation methods on behalf of international donors, national governments, and local NGOs and CSOs. Dr. Zakariya doubles as the technical advisor for Delph Plane project in Nigeria, where he is providing technical mail support on the project and the CEO of MNI Analysis Partners. So I present to you Dr. Zakariya, one of the speakers for today. Thank you.
Please, let's welcome him with virtual ovation in the chat box. Please, let's make welcome Dr. Zakariya. You can use the chat box, encourage the reader with your virtual, claps. Okay, moving on, we invite Ifeanyi to read the profile of one of our speakers for today, Caren Oburu. Ifeanyi, if you're on the call, please let us know so that we can give you the right to talk.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Godwin. So, Caren Oburu has over 60 years.
Your voice is a little bit down. Can you speak up, Ifeanyi, please?
Like, seriously. Is it more audible now? Is it clearer?
Clear. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So, we are welcoming Caren Oburu from Kenya. She has over 16 years experience in M&E at both national and international level and practice, and fostering evidence-based reforms in both the public and private sector. She has supported the implementation of donor-funded projects across different areas, including HIV prevention and treatment, tuberculosis, parent prevention of mother-to-child transmission, gender-based violence, dreams, OVC, maternal health, WASH, and nutrition. Caren is currently participating in the prestigious East Africa Signature Program, a transformational leadership development experience that brings together mid to senior level career women working across multiple disciplines, fields, and sectors in public health to equip them with the tools and framework they need to address the individual, organizational, and societal challenges that women leaders in global health face. So join me to welcome Caren. She is one of our distinguished speakers for today. Welcome, Caren.
Welcome, Caren. Thank you for doing us this honor to be on this panel today. Please, let's welcome her in the chat box. Let's give her a virtual vision for today. So right on time, I will be going on to call one of the members of the MOE's fair to take the bio of Mr. Anil. So I'll be inviting Mr. James. James, if you're on the call, please unmute yourself and then read the bio of our speaker, one of our speaker, Anil.
All right, good day, everyone. Can we confirm that you can hear me clearly?
Yes, from my end, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. For this afternoon, joining us from Washington, D.C. for this all-important section, Mr. Anil Kapoor, a dedicated monitoring and evaluation officer for the G7 indigenous-led initiative, which specifically is known as International Conservative Initiative Project. Mr. Anil operates within the Human Rights Conservative Unit as the regional office of the International Union for Conservation of Nature in North Washington, D.C., U.S. Mr. Kapoor holds a master's degree in international relations and a master's in business administration in Spain, both ends from the prestigious University of St. Pakistan. Mr. Kapoor's experience encompasses M&E methodology, program implementation, research, data analysis, data visualization, and survey management in complex environments. He excels in information management, coordination, and finance, demonstrating significant strength in project and program MI, learning strategies, and report delivery. His collaborative approaches have been instrumental in engaging regional and national partners to facilitate effective development initiatives. Mr. Kapoor has attended several international conferences, among which include the 18th International Human Rights Summit, Permanent Mission for Terrorists to the United Nations, New York, between July 18 to 28, 2024. Also, he attended the high-level policy dialogue known as HLPD 2024 of the African Dialogue Series and Office of the Special Advisor on African and the African Union Permanent Observer Mission to the United Nations. Also, he attended the Commonwealth Forum in 2015, and which encompasses Commonwealth Head of a Government Meeting, Government of Malta, and Commonwealth Youth Council Malta. Mr. Anil will share with us his experience working and engaging with high-level stakeholders at the UN level as an MIE professor. I must also say that Mr. Anil is very competent in the field of monitoring and evaluation, as he has part of his professional journey in the social development sector, as he has also served within the UNDP Pakistan in Gulf 2 project. I thereby present to you Mr. Anil, one of our distinguished speakers for this great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James, and welcome, Mr. Anil. Just to be sure that you heard him clearly, can you welcome him in the chat box? You had his profile, you know that we are super lucky to have him join us today. So let's welcome him in the chat box. Let's give him virtual ovation. Welcome, Mr. Anil. So we'll be moving on to start the discussion proper, but just to do a double check, I'd like to just ask our speakers to say hi to the participant. If you're on the call, please just unmute and say hi so that we can hear your voice before we go into the discussion for today. In no particular order, from Caren, Doctor to Anil, if you're on the call, just unmute and say hello or just anything to the participant that comes to mind.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Anil, and happy to be the part of this wonderful session. Thank you so much, Godwin, for organizing this kind of initiative. Thank you so much. And looking forward to discussion with the participants. Thank you for joining us.
So great. Now we can be sure that, yes, you're on the call. Thank you for the shout out. And then we'll move on to Caren. Caren, can you say hi to our participants?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Today is such a bad day. I lost my voice, but I'll try to be loud enough. I'm excited, super excited to be on this call. And I also hope to learn from my fellow M&D professionals and the colleagues on call. Thank you, Godwin, for inviting us. Over back to you.
Okay, thank you. Welcome once again. And we're so sorry about your voice. Again, we're happy to have you. Thank you for agreeing to do this. And then just to check again if Doctor is on the call. Okay, not sure Doctor is on the call right now, but we'll just proceed and then start the conversation proper. So for our participant, please, this is the moment we'll be waiting for. We'll be listening to our speakers. And I'll just ask that you get your notepad, get your writing materials ready. And if there's any of your, clique, any of your friends that should be on this call, please do well to share the link with them. I believe that today's session is very pivotal, not just for M&E, but, listening to people who have worked for so many years. There's so much we can learn from them, not just about M&E, but I believe we will learn wisdom that we can apply in other areas of our lives. So please stay tuned to the end of the session, and then you also have opportunity to ask your question when we get to the end of the panel. All right. So just give me a moment while I switch my screen to where we have the prompts for this discussion. Okay. So I'm putting my screen back again so we can begin. So please, like I said, you have opportunity to ask your questions. So while they are discussing, you can note down some things that come to mind. And then at the end of the session, you have opportunity to ask your question. Let me just check the chat box to be sure that there's nothing calling for my attention. Oh, okay, Joseph, she's saying today, I think she lost her voice. Okay, I think Caren has responded, so that's set to 6. Okay, so we'll just go straight away and be asking this question. We'll take turn to respond to them. So we're starting with you, Caren. Again, welcome. Mr. Anil, you're also welcome. So please, can you tell us a brief about your academic and professional background? Particularly, we want to know how your educational background shaped your decision to pursue a career in M&E. If there's any alignment between your academic and then professional background today.
Thank you, Godwin. I want to believe that I can be heard. I will really try my best. And apologies, colleagues, if I'm not very audible. I'm really, really sorry. and I apologize for this. A bit of background that's been given about who I am. I have a training in health informatics, so I have a master's in health informatics. And I will say that my professional background, actually from the beginning, I was prepared to be an M&D professional. So my training background aligns really well in terms of monitoring, evaluation, learning, and research. I'm also a very strong advocate for empowerment. How do we get to empower young people and even older people? And for this reason, I got accepted into a leadership project that is a 12-month project with Women Lift Health. And what we do is women empowerment into leadership. I am also a very strong advocate for mentorship, because as I was getting into my career, I think I missed a bit of mentorship. I didn't really get someone to hold my hand, and I wasn't very sure if that was the right path I was taking. So I really believe in mentorship and coaching, and I really mentor people, and I'm glad to continue mentoring more. So my space is open. If you're looking for a mentor, I'm available. I can accept 2 or 3 people to mentees, people to mentor into the M&D space. I currently work in Kenya as a strategic information advisor for a national level program that purely does monitoring and evaluation and it's strategic information management, and it's been exciting. Thanks, and over, Godwin.
Okay, thank you, Caren. Thank you for that. Before we move on, I see on the participant list that one of our speaker, Dr. Zakariya, is here. Please let's welcome him. Earlier on we read his bio, but he wasn't on the call, so now he's here. Please, in the chat box, let's welcome him. And Doctor, please, can you mute and just say hi before we continue?
Good evening, everybody. I'm happy to be here. It's an honor.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. All right, so let's move on to Anil in Washington. I'll be asking the same question. Can you tell us brief about your academic and professional background? Particularly, we want to understand if there is if your educational background shaped your decision to pursue a career in M&E. Is there any alignment whatsoever between your academic and then your professional background, sir?
So do you want to go me first? Or Dr. Zakariya is going to?
I think I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Godwin. First of all, thank you so much for everyone for organizing this kind of the wonderful session. So I would like to briefly introduce myself again. And basically, I am born raised in Sindh, Pakistan, and I belong to the Pakistan. And if I talk about my professional background, so I have around more than 15 years of professional experience in the project management and the monitoring and evaluation. So my professional background experience comprised with the more than 15 years of experience, in which the 50-50% I have spent 7 years in project management side, and dedicated to give the M&E side is more than 8 year experience. So I have managed the different world leading community development project in partnership with the CDO in the UNDP and the Tier Fund. And recently I'm managing the project, the Jeff funded project. It's I'm based in the Washington, DC. It's inclusive conservation of initiative, which is the purely right for the indigenous people. It operates in 3 regions of the world, like Asia, Africa, and Latin America. So beside that, I have gained my education in the Master in International Relations, and I did my double master in Business Administration and Finance. So I have also like attended the different professional certificate and the training, more than 100 training that I have attended under the different topics and the themes. And I have also participated in the different world level international conferences to be held in New York, United Nations, and like in the Commonwealth Youth Forum in Malta. So this is of my brief background about my professional experience, and I would be happy to interact to all and to answer your questions and the discussion. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for that. Moving on to Dr. Sir, please can you tell us a brief about your academic and professional background? For us on the call, we are young people. Some are actually into MIE already. Some are interested in starting. So there's always this conversation. Or is there any alignment between what I study in school versus what I need to do as an MIE? So we want to know from your experience, is there any alignment between your academic and professional background, sir? Hello. Hello, Dr. Zakariya. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, would like to hear from you. Tell us a brief about your professional background, your academic background, and how all of that contributed to what you're doing today in MIE.
Thank you very much. My name is Zakariya Zakari. I am a Nigerian, and my background is sociology. I studied BSc Sociology and MSc Sociology in Nigeria, and I taught sociology for 16 years in Nigeria between 1988 to 2004. In 2004, I was opportune to join USAID project to coordinate the development of the Education Management Information System, which was the first of its kind in Nigeria. I started my career in monitoring and evaluation in 2005 with USAID project, and I was looking at health, education, and community engagement program. And it was so interesting that that was my first encounter with monitoring and evaluation. And it was so interesting. And in 2007, I joined the core monitoring and evaluation support for USAID Nigeria as monitoring and evaluation specialist. And 2 years later, I became the deputy chief of party of the program. And I think it's a great thing. And like the Kenyan person said, it's all about mentoring. And I found my monitoring and evaluation all by myself. Although my sociological background gave me the opportunity that I was doing a lot of research and evaluations. Over.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, interesting to hear that, how you started and even lecturing. So moving on to Caren, you've mentioned earlier that you have background in public health. So we actually want to know, did you started your career in MIE, or you started off doing something else and then you find out that you can as well succeed in MIE?
Thank you, Godwin. I actually started off in MND, and I got to MND is very interesting. I'll try to cut the story short.
Okay.
Immediately after my high school, there was malaria in the county where I lived, my rural home. And we had donors coming to help us with malaria, and they were looking for people to help them with office stuff. So I actually began as a cleaner in that office. So I'll clean the office and things like this. But I got very keen interest in the people who are doing MND. In those days, MND used to sound like data collection. They'll go out and say, today we managed to distribute 1,000 nets. we managed to, you know, those things in terms of numbers. And that's how I got interested into MND. And I began pursuing a course in health information management. So I started with a diploma in health records and information. And thank God, the donor that had come at the time allowed me to go to school, allowed me to, you know, go back to study. And they told me, when you come back, we'll for sure give you a job. So I at times say it's God, because immediately after that, that's how I got into the MND field. And I've been in MND, and I love MND, and MND is fun. So that's how I got into MND. Thank you, Godwin.
No, thank you so much, Ma. Interesting how you started off in this space. And so I'll be moving on to Annie. Annie, you mentioned earlier that you've been in projects. So I'll be asking you these two questions at the same time. Yeah, even though you mentioned that, we would still like to hear, did you start your career as an MIE person, or you transition? And then what was the motivation to pursue a career in monitoring and evaluation?
Thank you so much, Godwin. So it's absolutely the wonderful question, like so that how I transition, or like I continuously working on the monitoring and evaluation. So yeah, I transitioned to the monitoring and evaluation when I already discussed that I have around over 15 years of professional experience in the project management and the monitoring and evaluation. So my career path, like to transition to the monitoring side, when I almost implemented like the project in partnership with the different multicultural donors. So I realized that I need to switch my job into the some technical side. So after like working more than 8 years in the project management and like to managing the different community projects, so then I realized that I should to go for the technical side, because once I was like in my university days, so I was very passionate about the research and the data analytics and the data management side. So I then realized that I need to accept the challenge and to go into the different field and to get involved into the measuring the impact and to measuring the changes impact in the lives of the common people. So that was the transition. I initially it was a project like I have started my first role in the M&E officer with the Oxfam funded project. It was like the She Can Lead. It's a campaign for the women right and women leadership. It's a wonderful project that I thought. So I started like to working as a full-time role as a M&E officer and joined them. And that was my lifetime experience to start working on the as a full-fledged M&E officer, because it's very different if you look into the program and the project management and like to the M&E side. M&E side is very technical, that requires a lot of skills and the knowledge that you need to obtain when you are in the M&E sides. So yeah, I challenged myself and I jumped into and transitioned into the new role and the new field of the social sector. So it's also, I would like to highlight here, like it's a crucial part of the project management cycle. If you look into the project management cycle, so M&E monitoring and evaluation is the crucial part of the project management cycle. So I realized that I need to switch and I need to contribute in this side as well. So yeah, it's for me, it's very interesting field, and I'm continuously on the daily routine, I'm learning very different approaches and very different like the techniques and the tools under the M&E framework. Yeah. Oh.
All right. Thank you very much. There was a lot of things to learn from your, transition story. Thank you for sharing that again. So I'll be moving on to hear from Dr. So you mentioned earlier how you started off having a background in sociology and, working as a lecturer for many years now. So the question is, what was the motivation to pursue a career in monitoring and evaluation, given that you've already had, a professional path already, but now in MIE? What was the motivation for you, like, sir?
My motivation was as a young teacher or young lecturer back in 2000, I had the opportunity, and I was going into a lot of researches, education and health kind of researches. And when I found myself developing the education management information system, I developed this passion for monitoring and evaluation, because one of the requirements for the development of education management information system is data demand and information use. And this is the core for monitoring and evaluation. So and I developed a passion for it. It's not only the motivation, I developed a passion for not only collecting data, but analyzing data and seeing that data is used for decision making. Over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing with us. Data is used for decision making, and it informed your decision to major in this space. So yeah, I think number 4 has also been, all of you made, comment that touch on this. Doctor was lecturing, and then Caren also talked on this. So I'll just skip this and then go to 5. So I will go to Anil, someone who has worked in project before, and then now in MIE. What were some of the challenges you faced when you started off in MIE? Having worked on different projects, and then you moved to working on data aspect of projects. What were some of the challenges you faced working with the program teams, and how did you overcome this?
Yes, absolutely. Working in the monitoring evolution comes with the different challenges, and especially when you are new in the M&E system. So when I entered into the M&E arena, so I encountered the different kind of the challenge. The first one is the capacity building. The capacity building in terms of the monitoring evolution required the different kind of the RBM kind of training. So I would say I encountered this kind of technical in terms of to understanding the languages of the output and the outcome statement, and to the baseline, and this all kind of the framework that how I can manage, because in the program and the project management side, I was not used to deal with all this kind of results terminologies. So this was a different level of the experience when I entered into the M&E system. So yeah, I had a brief background about the result management training, but I was not utilized, and I was not to implement on the ground. So when I came into the M&E system, so I recall all the standing, and I to started again to understanding and build my understanding on the different M&E frameworks and the terminologies of the different chain results. So these are the kind of the challenge, and the one of the major challenge that I encountered when I came into the M&E side. So the dealing with the supervisor and the project manager, so when you work on the M&E system, so when you work for the M&E for any project, so and you have the continuously to provide the quality for ensuring the quality of the data, ensuring for the project are on track or meeting their set objective. So the attitudinal issues I have faced from the program management side. So it was a different situation for me, I would say, when you are at the M&E side and you work with the project management team. So yeah, because as an M&E it's the role to mentor, to guide, to team to achieve the set goals, and to highlight the gray areas of the project if the kind of the project is not on the track. So when you highlight these kind of findings with the team, so at the same time you need to face some kind of the challenges within a team. So yeah, this kind of the issue that I have faced, but with the mutual understanding, with the mutual open communication with the team, so I resolved this kind of issue. And with the soft skills, you need a very kind of the soft skill and the adaptability. I would say you must be very familiar with this kind of all the skills. And also I gained the in-depth knowledge by using the different learning platforms like the Coursera and the different trainings platform. I learned the different kind of material related to the M&E. So these are the very combined field. I would say you need to very struggle hard when you in the M&E. You need to study a lot, and you need to clear your all concept regarding the monitoring and the evolution. because it's a very crucial project management cycle component. So I would say like whoever like wanted to join the M&E, so must be familiar with the research side and must be familiar with the technology that are in this scenario, in this current situation. So you must be familiar with the like the kind of the real-time monitoring, and there are a lot of huge. I would say I can, if I can schedule the session, it will be the whole day that I will tell about what are the requirement for the M&E and what capacity building need to be done by the youngster to get in this field. So yeah, this is of my brief background that I like tackle and encountered the different kind of challenge when I entered into the M&E system. Yeah, over.
Okay, thank you very much. Very detailed response. I hope we are taking down some notes. He mentioned how when he came in, he had challenges understanding the different terminologies and then that of capacity. Thank you very much once again. So I'll move on to Caren. Please tell us some of the challenges that you faced when you started off as a new B in M&E, and what are the actions or some of the steps you took to overcome those challenges?
Thank you, Godwin. I'll actually want to tie this with some of the misconceptions that I believe even right now for someone who's young who wants to venture into monitoring and evaluation. You know, people thinking that M&D is just reporting. I think in my story you had that because we had people in M&D reporting number of nets distributed, I thought that was M&D. But M&D is much more than the routine monitoring. And when you look outside, there's a bit of, you know, other organizations will call it MAL. So there's the monitoring, the evaluation, the adaptation, the research, the learning. Others bring in the knowledge management. In USAID funded projects, majority of them will talk of CLA, so collaboration, learning, and adaptation advisor. So there are many words they used to describe M&D, and I used to struggle to know, is it research? Is it learning? Is it knowledge management? So that is one of the challenges that I had. And like I mentioned, mentorship is key. It is good to identify a mentor, someone who can hold your hand, who can guide you, even as you grow and venture into M&D. And the reason why I also like M&D is, you know, M&D is the backbone of any project. So you have your M&D, you are good to go. You'll always be looked for, you know, to support the M&D functions. And just to finish, the misconception of thinking that M&D is data collection. So I collect and report, and that's it. There's so much into M&D that we could learn. And I'm glad that I'm sharing this today so that all of us who are interested in M&D can venture into monitoring, evaluation, learning, research, adaptation. Welcome all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caren. And they'll move on to hear from Sir to tell us what are the challenges he faced when he started off switching from, you know, a lecturing profession to M&E, working directly with data. So over to you, Dr. Zakariya.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that I have done monitoring and evaluation for all key technical areas of governance, health. Under health, you have maternal child health, HIV/AIDS, economic growth, agriculture, democracy and governance. One of the biggest challenge for a typical growing monitoring and evaluation specialist or officer has to do with understanding the different technical areas first, because you cannot be M&E for M&E's sake. You are M&E for a project. And so understanding the projects is key to be able to translate the theory of change up to the results chain. So it's important it's a big challenge to lay your hands and your thoughts in the concept of the project. And that is very, very big challenge. When I started monitoring and evaluation, like I said, I was looking at education, I was looking at health, I was looking at within health, we are looking at maternal and child health, we are looking at child survival immunization. Coming from sociology, sociology has touched on different technical areas, both economics, political, and social. But I found myself in health, and I was, to really get around issues relating to antenatal, issues relating to immunization was very, very challenging. That is one. And the second thing is looking at the, understanding and using the monitoring and evaluation terminologies. For a typical USAID has so much terminologies like my colleagues have enumerated. You are expected to develop a monitoring and evaluation plan. We call it a performance monitoring or management plan. You are supposed to link that to a log frame. And I remember I was supposed to do an indicator analysis, back in 2005 when I was a young M&E, and I didn't know what that meant. So I had to, and it's true, we have to look for a mentor, we have to look for somebody that will give us a guide. And I tell you, that period we were in 5 states. I was only monitoring and evaluation officer in 1 state, and interacting with my M&E colleagues in the other 5 states, we were not able to get around what an indicator analysis was. So you have to, as monitoring and evaluation, as growing monitoring and evaluation specialist, you have to ensure your capacity is built. And nobody is going to will do it for you. And I want to say also, you may not be able to get an M&E training that will cover even the minutest part of M&E. It's a big challenge. So as a growing M&E, my biggest challenge was how to give myself capacity to understanding the terminologies and the requisite requirements of becoming an M&E. And like I said earlier, one of the key things is to develop that passion, to develop that interest, and then you will get over some of those challenges. Over.
I would like to Goodwin to add some points at this moment. So it's a wonderful discussion that's going on from the seniors as well. So yeah, when you in the M&E system, so there are a lot of misconception is going on in the states, like about the M&Es. Like M&E is always for the supporting and to be a mentorship. Like it's the term nowadays is changed. And monitoring is not about to policing your the project. Is kind of the to providing you the facilitation, to providing you the mentorship, to providing you the support to achieving your set objective and set up the target. So this is kind of the misconception still exists in the system. So I really appreciate to whoever to want to join in the M&E system, there must be to be very clear the monitoring and evaluation is a kind of the supporting system and kind of the mentorship system, to provide the support to the team to as a when the monitoring and M&E person highlight the kind of gaps and kind of the challenges and kind of the progress of the project and conduct kind of different analysis. So this only the reason that we need to achieve the target in a set timeline and to report to the donor. So this is a misconception that I think that need to be addressed and need to be by all the professional that at this moment. Yeah. And a second thing, the continuous learning, into the M&E system, the different kind of the trends are going to be changed. in the M&E field. So there are a lot of technologies are in nowadays. If you look into the AI system, like the artificial intelligence in the data analytics and the real-time monitoring system and the sensing monitoring system, if you look into this. So these kind of like continuously like the trends are coming into the M&E system. So, and Power BI, like the data visualization. So these kind of like to be very much familiar, any professional who wanted to be in the system. So these kind of the learning and the new adaptability must be focused by the individual who are interested in the M&E system. Yeah. Over.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Very well said. M&E is for support, not for policing, like most people will say. Thank you. And then earlier on, Doctor also shared how we're not supposed to just be M&E officer for being an officer's sake, but then you should know and understand what the project is all about and then build your capacity. Nobody can do that for you. Thank you so much. I think Caren has talked about this misconception, so I'll just move on to number 7, which talks about, M&E is an evolving field, which cut across different sectors and then different demands. So for you who have been in M&E, I'm starting with Caren. You have been in M&E for over, so many years now, 16 years now. I know a lot of things have changed even at this point compared to when you started off. So how do you stay, current in your M&E journey, especially with new technology and new trends? We are particularly interested in knowing your go-to place for professional development. How do you stay current, and what is that place you go to learn new trends or practices in M&E?
Thank you, Godwin.
Yeah.
I've also put on chat that I coupled my M&D with training in continuous quality improvement. So bringing in the aspect of monitoring and evaluation, and how do you use that for continuous quality improvement? And having said that, I am in professional associations and networks. I also engage a lot in communities of practice. And I will say, like, even the M&D sphere, the WhatsApp group that we have, I get to learn a lot from the M&D colleagues. And that has kept me abreast with what is happening. I recently, with the move to, data science, data analytics, I recently also, I keep on learning. So I recently completed a training in data analysis using Python and R, and also other visualizations like Power BI. So there's that bit of constantly learning, be it virtual, be it online. You'll always be learning. And the good thing is, lately there's so many free courses, online free courses that you can take as a young M&D professional or someone that is coming in into M&D. We have webinars and workshops. I know there's a forum, for instance, that is coming in Kenya, the global, they call them the Global Digital Health Platform, and it is a global body. And, participating in such conferences also keeps me updated in terms of knowing what is happening and what is coming up. But above all, networking and peer learning. I actually also still have mentors. I have people who mentor me. I have people who show me the way. So I've continually kept on doing that, and I've kept on growing. Thanks, and over.
Okay, thank you so much. It's interesting to see that even though you've reached, like I would say, the peak of your career, you still make out time to develop yourself, to stay current, and learn from the professional association that you belong to, community of practice, and then personal effort in taking courses online. This is a message for all of us young people on this call. There's no plateau in this field. You have to just keep on learning and learning and learning. So I'll move on to ask Doctor the same question. This is because I'm happy that you had a background in lecturing. For us, especially in Nigeria, monitoring evaluation is one course that for now, I stand corrected, is not common in the university. It's not being offered among so many universities like we have other disciplines. So for someone who is starting off, what is your go-to? How do you stay current in your journey, given that you have years of experience? How do you stay current with new trend? And then what is that your favorite place you go to for professional development, sir?
Thank you very much. The peak of my career was managing monitoring and evaluation support for USAID. And I had the opportunity, and I think privilege, for attending so many trainings, both locally and abroad. We were responsible for bringing in consultants to train not only USAID projects on monitoring and evaluation. We were also the pioneer. We were also responsible for training government, and we were instrumental to developing the monitoring and evaluation department in Ministry of Budget and Planning. And we identified some of the states USAID was, and we invited a number of people from the states and gave them monitoring and evaluation training using international monitoring and evaluation. I can call them gurus. So I had that advantage to keep myself going. And I had an opportunity also to work in Bangladesh, where we employed services, especially with technology, with Power BI, with ODK then. We were able to invite people that specialize in that, and they gave us training. Now, internationally, for growing monitoring and evaluation specialists, you have annually a training that happens in Netherlands on monitoring and evaluation. And I see that previously they used to invite people, they used to pay, and people get to Netherlands for training. Now they have extended it, they have made it virtual. So people have opportunity to attend monitoring and evaluation training at least once in a year. And I know also there is an organization in Kenya and South Africa that provides basic monitoring and evaluation training for growing professionals. I have been participating the last 3 years on the youth evaluation monitoring. The youth evaluation monitoring is either managed by UNICEF or on the SDGs, but I've been part of it in the last 3 years, where we were assigned young growing professionals. We were given, I think, 6 months to be working with them, and we start from key concepts, terminologies of M&E, and then we put them through development of the results chain, development of the log frames, and the performance management monitoring systems. So there are a lot of opportunities across the globe for monitoring and evaluation. Coming back to Nigeria, we have so many platforms, and I can share. We have the Nigerian Association of Evaluators, in which I am a board member, and it's open to engage, open to all caliber young professionals that want to join evaluation and monitoring. And we have a number of WhatsApp groups that are looking at data science, are looking at monitoring and evaluation, and they are very interesting. And you have also global, not global, African specific monitoring and evaluation groups on WhatsApp and Telegram, where you can associate with the people in practice of monitoring and evaluation. So I see monitoring and evaluation today as getting easier to learn, getting easier to become a professional because you have these opportunities. And if anybody that is interested, please feel free to contact me and I can link you up with some of these trainings and some of these links that you will be able to use to improve your capacity on monitoring and evaluation. Over.
Thank you very much. Thank you. If you've been listening to Doctor, he just said something, and I hope that you heard it very well. If anyone is interested, so on behalf of all the young people, I want to say we are very, very interested. We'll be reaching out to you regarding some of this platform that you just talked about, so that we can leverage them. And like you mentioned, it's easier to grow now in M&E because of the numerous opportunities and information out there that were not there before. But then let's hear from Anil. I'll be asking the same question now because even though all of you have years of experience, I believe the trajectory or how you stay current may vary. So we'd like to hear from you. How do you stay current with new development and trends in monitoring and evaluation? And then what are the places that you leverage for professional development that you can share with us?
Thank you so much, Godwin. So first of all, I would really interested the Dr. Zakariya's the opportunity to share with the youngster. It's a wonderful platform that would be helpful for the youngster to gain the knowledge into the M&E system. And so this kind of the platform and the opportunity will be really helpful for all of them. And I'll go into your question, so I already discussed that the current trending into the M&E field. So they are basically M&E is an emerging field, I would say. It's continuously emerging in a different aspects. So the technology is very necessary if you are in the M&E system, because when I started my career, so it was like the traditional monitoring that we used to practice. So, but nowadays with the usage of the technology, is making easier our tasks in terms of data analysis, in terms of the data visualization that would be really helpful and found very helpful for making decisions for the management. Because as an M&E person, we are to provide the data to gather the analysis is just to the management to get the decision for the upcoming the actions. So these kind of the trends are in the market. So I would suggest to the youngster who are really interested in the M&E system, so they must get familiar with the different trends, like the AI, how AI is emerging and how AI is integrating into the data analytics and the data management systems as well, and also to understand with the Power BI and the different software who is for the data visualization. Data visualization is also the one of the key that I would say as an Emil person. So this kind of the capacity building must be needed and to learn by the youngster. And also the soft skills, I would say the soft skills is always to improve the soft skill into this field. So, and you have to be very adaptability and use the adaptive management. So currently, if I give you an example, currently I am managing the very large project, which is funded by the JEF Global Environment Facilities, and it's an inclusive conservation of initiatives. It's purely basic for the indigenous rights people. So we are operating in the 10 different countries of the 3 different regions, like the Asia and Africa and the Latin America. So I developed all the system of the M&E for this all 10 project and the common unified system. So I would say there are the different kind of the knowledge that I have applied and kind of the different technology that I am using to developing the system. So day by day, I'm to making the advancement in the system. Like I'm using the different technology, kind of the Trello system, and kind of to a dashboard system for the easy and the decision making, and the easily reporting system, the real-time monitoring system as well. So I can get the data snapshot from the DC and I can easily to share with the stakeholder. So these kind of the approaches and the trending are in the market. So There are a lot of resources and the platform available if anyone is interested. If you go into the World Bank, like the learning platform, so it's available. If you go into the UCN personally, the learning platform, so there is available in their official websites if you explore. And beside this all, there are a lot of like the free and the funded digital learning platform available. Like this world is kind of the globalized, and like we can easily learn from anywhere we are belongs to. Like so yeah, I would encourage to give your time on the internet very wisely and useful manner, so that you can learn the different practices and the different, and keep in touch with the current trend, what's going on, and try to, when you apply for the different kind of roles, then you must be familiar these kind of trends and these kind of like the learnings. Because I have started career in the Pakistan, I don't have the kind of the resources when I started my career in the MNC system. But with the passage of time, and I gain my experiences and I gain knowledge from the different resources. So I moved to the Washington, D.C. It's a kind of an achievement, I would say, for me. Like, so I work for the United Nations system as well. So I would really encourage to the youth, there is a hope. If you really struggle hard, you can get whatever you want and what you desire to be. So continue learning and keep like to, don't afraid from the challenges. Challenges is also the one of the main gateway for your opportunity. Keep learning, I would say, and keep encouraging yourself and keep making impact for the community and for your people and the lives. And we all are here, like we are like to connected, and we are help to each other. I can give you my details, and we are connected in the WhatsApp group. Whenever you feel free to find any kind of like support, I would be there and to support the youngster. Yeah. Over.
Wow. Super amazing to hear you say that. Thank you very much. And one of the one of the words you said that I want to reecho is use your time on the internet wisely. Keep learning and upgrading yourself. In that way, you can stay relevant and valuable to your organization. So moving on now, it's getting interesting. I hope we are listening to some of the things our speakers are saying. He's available to support, and I hope that we are listening and we can, benefit from this free offer that is given to us. So now we're taking the next question. We want to know, working as an MIE person. Yeah, I know one thing, people want to be MIE professionals, maybe for the sake of what they hear or what they see, but we want to actually hear from you who have worked as an MIE professional for years. Can you share with us some of the opportunities that you have enjoyed? I think Dr. mentioned this earlier, but now we are going in detail. Can you share some of the opportunities or fringe benefits that you have enjoyed being an MIE professional that you feel otherwise you wouldn't have gotten this if you're not an MIE person? So I'm starting with Caren. So over to you. Can you share some of the benefits or some of the opportunities that you have enjoyed being an MIE person, so that we don't just, is MIE really something I should go into?
Thank you, Godwin. And I've seen one of us comment on chat and say that a career in MND, we are the least paid, but I think otherwise. So just to tie that to the question we are tackling right now, I would say that majority of organizations have their MND paid really well, at least in the organizations where I've worked. Apart from the leadership, the MND guys are really paid well. And for me, that is one of the fringe benefits. The other thing would be for my personal satisfaction and growth, translating those numbers into action, bringing in a bit of data demand and information use. You give people data, you want to use it to look at your policies, to look at how you implement your project. And for me, that is satisfaction. And it doesn't necessarily mean that M&D results must always be positive. There are times M&D has backfired, you know, and just using what has backfired to improve and, you know, to change the systems, the M&D plans, the M&D framework. For me, that is such a big deal, and it's such a good thing, because then you're able to use the evidence that you have to improve on the project. So for me, I treat that as a personal growth. I think, like I've said, I wouldn't disclose how much I'm paid, but I think compared to, you know, if I was in the same level with someone who is not in M&D, I would say, you know, the money, and again, based on the question you asked us when we began, I mean, for me, the money, and if I'm paid well for my expertise, then it is a benefit, I will say. And M&D is everywhere, at home, in all sectors. There's always M&D in health, in climate, in education, name it. There's always M&D everywhere. And I usually encourage, especially the young professionals, and tell them M&D has enough for all of us. Anyone who ventures into M&D will get their fair portion. No, there's enough jobs for all of us. There's enough everything for all of us in M&D. So you are in the right space. Continue venturing into M&D. There's so many benefits that comes with being in M&D, and above all is just enjoying the work. If you are in a work environment or you're doing something you enjoy, for me, it is more and above even the compensation and the money. So you do a job that you like, you are good to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. I like what you said. There's enough space for every one of us to succeed and, you know, make an impact and living in MIE. And of course, I thank you for clarifying the fact that MIE are well paid. Someone mentioned that in the chat that MIE are not well paid. And I think from you, someone who has, you know, worked for years, you have clarified that so well. So let's move on to doctors. Doctor, please share some of the opportunities or the benefits you've gotten as an MIE person, especially working internationally on different, you know, donor-funded projects. Or want to be inspired by your story. What are some of the benefits that you think which an MIE person can benefit from your story? Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I think the greatest benefits for, I don't know, it depends on individuals, but for me, the greatest benefit is networking, is field work, is travel. I have traveled across the world because I'm monitoring and evaluation person. So I have, in my travel, it is not only sightseeing, but looking at context-related issues in terms of monitoring and evaluation. That is one. Two, I have worked across donor organizations. I've worked with DFID, I have worked with FCDO now, USAID, EU, World Bank. I'm right now doing some work with the World Bank on environment. So I think that is beneficial. You do not have to, you know, it's just like an international businessman going around the world transacting business. So I think my main business is monitoring and evaluation, and I go around Nigeria and across Nigeria doing that. That is beneficial. Now, in terms of benefits, I would like to agree with my Kenyan professional that it's not about money. But let me say this. When you are working with any international donor, M&E is a key staff. All other staffs, even including the project-related technical officers, are not key staff. M&E is key staff, second or third to the chief of party, team leader, or the deputy chief of party. So I think it's important for us to note this. So it's not just anybody that becomes M&E, whether you are in a local government, managing M&E in the project or a state or at the higher level, federal or national level. That is key. So it's not the benefit, it's also the knowledge. I have benefited from M&E knowledge. And I have become an M&E professional. I am a second generation monitoring and evaluation person in Nigeria. First generation, we had our seniors, our bosses that came out of AF in Ibadan, and they were co-M&E, co-trained M&E, and we worked with them, and they mentored us into M&E. And I think those are the benefits I received. I think if I were lecturing, I wouldn't have had the opportunity for all these benefits. This is key, this is important. It is fashionable, you live and eat and drink monitoring and evaluation. And that is what, and I agree with my Kenyan professional that it's also a family level. Even within your family, you do monitoring and evaluation and you live in peace. Over.
Interesting. Thank you very much, sir. Well, very notable things you have mentioned. M&E provides network, it provides opportunities to travel. You also benefit from M&E knowledge, put it into your personal or family life. And then you're considered a key staff on the project you're working with, not just, a random person on the project, but somebody that is very vital to the organization. So now let's move on to Washington, DC, and ask the same question to Anil. Yeah, you mentioned earlier how you moved from, I think, your home country to Washington, DC. So now, building on that, we'd like to hear more. What are some of the opportunities or the fringe benefit that you have enjoyed being an M&E person?
Yes. As an M&E professional...
Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Clear, yeah. Proceed.
Okay, perfect. So as an M&E professional, the opportunities and benefit that I have enjoyed are both professionally and they're enriching and personally rewarding. I have had the chance to work on diverse projects that positively impact communities, giving me a sense of purpose and the fulfillment. And I would say like the role that has allowed me to develop a unique skill set of the combining the data analytics with the field work, which is a highly demanded globally. Additionally, I have enjoyed the flexibility of working in the different sector and the region, meeting and the learning from a wide range of people, continuously growing through exposure or to cutting edge technology methodology. So I would say like this career path has opened the door to the leadership opportunity and the ability to influence meaningful change. And also the transition from the Pakistan to the Washington DC, yes, absolutely, it's a big opportunity for me for the learning perspective to understanding not only the M&E perspective, but I'm also learning the different cultural practices to different understanding of the interacting with the different world leaders, and I'm strengthening my networking as well. So this field has given me a lot of benefit in terms of, not in terms of the financially, but also in terms of like to strengthen my networking, to develop my capacity building more and more. And like also it gives me the wider spectrum of the learning and give the wider vision of my professional goal to excel in this field. So I would encourage to all our youngster, like if you are ready to take a challenge and to support to the community with the positive cause, so this field is yours, and you can get also these kind of benefits, and you can also like to shape your leadership skills. So this is from my side. Over to you. Hello. Over.
Hello, Godwin.
I'm so sorry. I've been talking. I muted myself unknowingly. Okay, thank you very much for sharing. We've got your response to the question, some of the benefits moving from your home country and then contributing to positive social change in your community is one of the benefits that we stand to gain. So moving on, we have a little over 30 minutes to the end of this conversation. So we'll just go to number 9. We'll be very brief with this so that we can take questions from the participants as well. So now looking back to your journey, Ma, what do you wish you had known or done differently when you started off? I mean, it's been years of practice in M&E now. So what are those mistakes that you made, or maybe things you wish you knew better than now than you started off, how it was when you started off?
That goes to
Over to you,
Caren.
Mark. Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. Thanks, Godwin. I'll be very brief on this one. To date, I've never regretted having a career in M&D. I think the 3 years or 4 years I spent being an office assistant and cleaning the office, if I knew there was M&D, I would have gotten to M&D immediately. But again, I sit and say, probably the 3-4 years were preparing me, and the 3-4 years made me know there is some career in M&D. The demand in M&D is unmatched. It cannot be matched. And that's why I've never regretted. I think there are always opportunities for growth. And growth is a continuous process. Do something towards your professional growth. Don't stagnate. Don't wait for a supervisor to push you. Don't wait for 1, 2, 3 to do or to push you. Just start. Push yourself and begin. And I'm sure you'll see tremendous growth as you build your career in M&D, and you'll never regret. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to stay with you and then take number 10 before I move to the next speaker. So with your years of experience, can you tell us one project you worked on that you're very much proud of?
All the projects have been exciting. And I will say, as an M&D professional, I've also been very lucky because most of actually, I've never been jobless, for lack of a better word. Immediately after high school, like I've told you, I got into a job. To date, I've always had a job. I've moved jobs, but I've always had jobs. My current job, all of them have been very exciting because there's something you learn. There's always a new thing you learn from your colleagues, from the project. But my most exciting one is the current project that I am supporting. In all other these projects that I did, I was supporting a few regions. My current role, and actually in these other projects, it was maybe a service delivery project. So you have an HIV grant and you come in as M&D. So you are working with other program staff. In my current project, it is purely an M&D grant. And it is very exciting because then you are the subject matter expert, working with the various stakeholders in Kenya, working with the ministries of health, supporting the national HIV program in Kenya, in matters monitoring and evaluation and strategic information is quite exciting. And, utilizing that and bringing in the digital health aspect to it. For instance, previously in Kenya, apologies for that, the HIV program conducted their data quality assessments and service quality assessments on Excel or paper-based. And, immediately you do Excel, then you can't follow through your findings. And through this project that I work for, we've managed to develop an electronic tool that is able to longitudinally follow, data quality assessments and service quality assessments. And we've incorporated modules for action planning. You are able to track how a facility is performing longitudinally in terms of data quality assessment. And it is exciting. This project is exciting. This is one of those projects that are exciting that I've worked in and that I'm able to fully utilize my M&D skills and expertise to make sure that Kenya is ahead in terms of use of strategic information. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you very much for sharing that. Now let's move on to Dr. Sa. Please, looking back to your journey in this space, can you tell us what you wish you had known differently? And then you'll be responding to the second question, telling us what is that one project you've worked on several of them. So we'd just like to know any of them that comes to mind that you're so proud of. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I do not have anything that I wish I had known differently. I started my international development work with coordinating education management information system. And I was made to understand then that I could fit into monitoring and evaluation, and I fitted in very well. So I was teaching. In my teaching career, I was very good in research methods, and I was teaching research methods to undergraduates and also at point to postgraduates. So I was so happy when I got into monitoring and evaluation that if I had not done that, I would have regretted that I didn't do that. So that helped me a lot in my monitoring and evaluation career. And answering the second question, like I said earlier, I found myself, and I'll give you a lot of examples. I found myself in 2005, I was the monitoring and evaluation specialist or officer for Kano Compass project, and I was moved to Abuja as the deputy monitoring and evaluation. I was young monitoring and evaluation person. So I was able to move in to become a deputy director monitoring and evaluation. And then I went into core. 2007, I went into core M&E support for all projects in Nigeria. And 2010, there was another project, and I became the deputy chief of party for that project for M&E support, monitoring and evaluation management services. So I was supporting every project, over 30 projects in Nigeria on monitoring and evaluation, in terms of evaluation, in terms of capacity building, in terms of data quality assessment. And, joining those two organizations then, I developed interest and became a specialist. I specialized in one aspect of monitoring and evaluation, which is data quality assessment, which gave me the opportunity to go around the globe, Tanzania, Kenya, Bangladesh, to become an M&E specialist or in terms of data quality assessment for all technical areas. So I count myself lucky that I am one on top of others in terms of data quality assessment there and across the globe. And now I would like to also say that my background in projects monitoring and evaluation internationally has given me an opportunity to become an international independent monitoring and evaluation consultant. And this is key. You don't have to work for projects as M&E. So I sit in my office in Abuja. I am independent, I am private, and people get to talk to me in terms of project management and monitoring and evaluation. And I think it's important for the young ones that are coming. I am an employer of M&Es that I can send them across Nigeria to practice M&E. So we should clamor, this group should have a database that some of us will be pulling and then working with them, mentoring them in terms of monitoring and evaluation. And let to a brighter future. Government in Nigeria now is interested in monitoring and evaluation. And I'll tell you one or two things in terms of working with the public sector. It is more difficult. But when you are working with the public sector on monitoring and evaluation, you have to be as much initiative as possible. So when I find myself training government officials, I downplay the accountability part of monitoring and evaluation, because I think once government accepts the structure called M&E, then accountability will take care of itself. So let's look forward for a brighter future in Nigeria, specifically in Africa, especially in terms of monitoring and evaluation. And also let us see ourselves as independent monitoring and evaluation people, where you have jobs in monitoring and evaluation, you grab at them to learn, but where you do not have jobs, there are always openings where you can provide your services, at least in terms of monitoring and evaluation. You could be an enumerator collecting data. You could be one that is analyzing data. You could be one that is using the Power BI. You could be one, so many parts of monitoring and evaluation that are, and people will start to specialize in some of those things. You could be one that will be providing infographics to reports. So let us put our hands on deck and work towards a brighter future for monitoring and evaluation. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. And I hope that we are listening. Doctor is not just a professional, he's an employer of MIE, youngster. So I think that's one of the best things we've had here today. So if I were you, I would dust my CVs and then look out for those opportunities. Okay, so let's move on to Anil. Looking back at your journey, do you think you had, those moments where if you had known better, you would have done better, or you all along have been good moving in this space? And then you also respond to the 10th question. If there's any project that comes to mind that you're very proud of, we'll be very interested in hearing you talk about that. Over.
Oh, okay. It's absolutely an interesting question. So, okay. If I looking back on my M&E journey, so I feel like I wish I had understood the importance of the balancing technical skills with the softer skills. So this was the key. Being a proficient in the data analysis and the evolution method, it is crucial. I have realized that the effective communication, stakeholder engagement, and the adaptability are just as vital for success. I also wish I had embarrassed with the technology earlier on, as I transformed the field dramatically. So lastly, I would have the mentorship sooner. So having a guide in the early stage, could I have accelerated my learning and provided the valuable insight into the navigating and the challenges. So these are the key the tasks that I wish that if I look back to my M&E journey. Yeah. Over.
Yes, see with you, is there any project that comes to mind that you want to talk about that you're very much proud of, or that bring memories?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. The project, if I talk about the more proud, so I work with the United Nations Development Program, the UNDP headquarters, as an M&E coordinator under the project. It was like the climate change project with the funding of the green climate change. So I supported this project as an M&E coordinator. So that was a wonderful experience, and I am proud of to managing this kind of project, because it was based on the GLOS event. If any one of you so familiar with the natural calamity in terms of the glaciers and melting of the glacier. So I worked that project directly, and I supported to the communities of the mountainous areas communities. So directly I supported them, and I like to visiting them, and I established the system for them for the easily of the data collection, and I supported in terms of to to facilitate them from protect the natural hazards like the Gulf event. So like, and the second one, the proud moment is for me to working this project currently that I'm working for this. It's basically a very different project that I have ever worked in my career. So this is a very giant project. So I'm managing the 10 countries of the monitoring evaluation system, and also like to leading this component by myself. So this is one of the key achievements. So that I feel that I'm in the system. So yeah, I have an opportunity to directly working with the different region of the indigenous people of the different 10 countries. And I'm working using the adaptability monitoring system, like to based on their learning, based on their skills. So I need to be very working with the tailored approach, I would say. So this is something, the great experience for me, what I feel, and it's always making me proud to work for the cause of the community and for the cause of the humanity that I'm working now. So yeah, these are the two moments that I always feel cherished when I think about this both initiatives. Yes. Over.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And I'll be taking our last set of questions, the two of them at once. So I'm going to Caren. Can you, I think most of us here want to learn from experience and don't want to, leave this session with clarity on some of the things we need to do as young professionals to succeed. So, but would you say there are prospects for young and emerging evaluators in M&E today, given that new technology have emerged, especially AI, things that people could, outsource to young guys now can be done with AI. So would you say there are still prospects for young and emerging evaluators? And then what advice would you give to young professionals who maybe they're not in M&E yet, they're doing one thing at the moment, but they are interested in transitioning? What would be your advice to them? Over, ma.
Thank you, Godwin. There are prospects. The answer is yes. And the reason why I say that is you look at AI and the current and the kind of new opportunities that AI is creating requires some human intervention. So for me, it is a yes. You need people who can interpret the data. There's the increased demand for data analysis and, just making meaning out of, the outcome of what you get. So just to encourage all of us, those who are aspiring, those who are young, who want to begin, there is prospects with AI. I actually read some time back that with AI, soon people will be jobless. That is not correct. So don't stop, just begin. And in closing, as I tackle my last question, I will say that there's never a right time to begin, be it a career. No, there is never a right time. Just begin. So if you are on this call and you're aspiring to be in M&D, or you are in M&D and you're not really sure, for those who are in M&D, they're not very sure you're in the right space. For those who are aspiring, want to be in M&D, just begin. And once you begin, you will see yourself growing. How you do this? Get into networks like the one that we are in. Join those communities of practices, train, gain relevant training. And like I mentioned earlier, there are many online courses that are free. There's so many online courses that are free. Get into LinkedIn. I actually see on my LinkedIn, there's usually so many courses until I don't even know which one to take, and they're for free. So there are many, many online courses that you can take that are relevant to M&D. Just begin. If there's something that is keeping you from beginning, I want to encourage all of us to just begin. Above all, make sure that you're always updated on the trends and the best practices. The M&D field keeps on changing. You can have the skill, but you need to always keep on improving on the skill that you have. So keep on staying updated. Get to know what is trending, what are some of the best practices, and make sure that you keep on growing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. Just begin. Don't let anything hold you back, and keep upgrading yourself. So let's move on to Doctor as he takes his last set of questions. So would you say there are prospects or opportunities for young and emerging evaluators in the face of AI emergence? And then this last one would be your advice to young professionals who want to break into the M&E space. Over, sir.
Thank you very much. From what I see using AI will not give you all the answers. AI just guides. It's a guide. It will not give you the contextual answers that that will address all the demands of monitoring and evaluation in a project or in a program. So AI, to me, I do not see AI replacing monitoring and evaluation profession. And then also, we need to also learn how to use the AI. It's one thing to say AI, but how do we use the AI to our advantage is what is important. How do we manipulate AI to give us the right answers? So monitoring and evaluation professionals, we should note that AI will not replace your profession. Now, in terms of my advice, and I think I have said so much on that, the monitoring and evaluation profession is still virgin. It's still empty. You do not have people in the job. For some of us that are, like I said, the first generation, most of the first generation of professionals are no longer in country, for instance, in Nigeria. The second generation professionals, we are quarter to go, and therefore you need to replace them. So we need to rely on emerging professionals to come and work, not only work with us, also to see the extent to which they will replace us. Thirdly, talking about capacity, I think part of the problem with the younger ones is their inability to study, inability to read, inability to make themselves comprehend issues. So my advice to you guys is that you have to consciously read, you have to consciously research and search. You don't have to rely on going to a school to teach you the theoretical part of monitoring and evaluation. You have to read the reports, you have to read evaluation reports, you have to develop evaluation report templates to be able, you have to look at monitoring and evaluation plans across donors. You have to read monitoring and evaluation manuals. They're all out there in the cloud. So all you need to do is to make yourself read them. When we were growing monitoring and evaluation, I tell you, up till today, nobody sat me. I didn't go to any school. I didn't go to any training to learn how to manipulate the computer. You have to make it. You have to do it yourself. Some of the technology today is self-learning, is self-teaching. All you need to do is to look at the guides, and it will give you a guide on how to manipulate some of these things. So we need to consciously do that. Finally, we need to develop our goals and objectives and then follow them religiously so that we want to become M&E, but you cannot be called M&E if you do not earn it, if you do not merit it. So my advice is monitoring and evaluation is all about your passion, Evaluation is all about your efforts and ability to capacitate yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, sir. So we'll just move on to Anil. We have 6 minutes to go on this call. So I'll be glad if you can respond to these 2 questions briefly so that we can take 1 or 2 questions from our participants. So would you say there are opportunity or prospect for young and emerging evaluators? And then what would be your advice? So over.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear from both our speakers from Dr. Zakariya and like to Caren about their insights on the opportunities for the youngster. Yes, I do agree with both of them, and also my insight is that so there are a lot of opportunities are available in this century for the youngster. So I would personally like to advise to the youngster to very practical advice. So if they are they must, if they are to very passionate about the monitoring and evaluation system, so they must have the relevant background information, like the academic qualification. If they are planning for the dedicated their career in this specific field, so I would really highlight, suggest them to pursue the relevant academic education. And also I would highlight there are a lot of internship opportunities available for the this specific role. Once you get done with your education, then you can go to the internship opportunity and to learning by doing, as Dr. Zakariya is saying, that there are a lot of learning manuals are available in the market. So learning by doing and to gain your experience and practice and to implement the M&E system under the mentorship of any mentorship of the seniors. So these kind of the takeaways that youngster can start their career in this field. And yes, there is a passionate, I would say that you should be very passionate about this field, because this is a very technical field. And not only to learn only the M&E specific technical field. When you look into the project management cycle, I would highly recommend to the youngster not only go for the M&E system, to learn only technical sides, but for the M&E person, they must be familiar with the terms of the different component of the project management cycle, it's from project initiation to the project formulation and the project implementation side and the finance side. So as an M&E person, he or she must be familiar with all of the project management cycle component and must be familiar with the programmatic needs and the understanding about the programmatic approaches as well. So as a whole, as the only M&E person, as the only technical person, cannot get the result well of the project. And as an M&E person, you need to understand the need of the program side as well. So I would highly encourage to get your experience in the both field, and then you fully fledged continue your experience with the M&E side. So in my case, so I planned my career I initially gained the knowledge and the experiences in the program side and the implementation side. Then I can jump into the oversighting role. So that's was my approach. It could be your different. So at this moment, I can understand the needs and the requirement from the program team. So yeah, you have to be very collaborative approach. And there's a lot of resources, material, and the opportunities are available at your door. You just need to explore very wisely and use the tool and the technique available in the market that you can use it. And there are a lot of the learning by doing that you can do at your own level. So yeah, this is from my side. Yes, absolutely. The AI is a new shift in the market, but I really agreed with the doctor comment. It's not will replace the M&E professional role, but it will support you in terms of to making easy your life, and will give you the appropriate the data and the decision making. But it's under discussion. It's under evolving phase. So we cannot say are dependent totally into the AI, but you have a background information about the M&E system. How does the M&E system work? So this is from my side. I wish you best of luck, everyone who are really looking forward to join this. career in the M&E sites. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have just, I think, just a minute or two to take a question. And if you're asking, please just raise your hand and then ask the question to the person you want to direct the question to. So over to the participant now. James, Mr. James, I see your hand up. Please go ahead.
All right, thank you, Godwin. Many thanks to all our panelists. We've learned so much from you. I think my question will be directed to Caren, but the other two speakers, they can also help us to share more light on it. Caren, you mentioned that the space of MIE now goes beyond monitoring and evaluations. You've talked about knowledge management, research, and all of that. So can you just tell us, or just like an advice to young ones who might just be looking for MIE related title alone? Some people, when they see other opportunities in the area of research, in the area of knowledge management, once it doesn't carry monitoring and evaluation officer or monitoring and evaluation specialist, the field is not for them. And that's my first question, or I don't know if I should call it a question or a comment. Then the second one will be, will you advise that someone who has been in a higher position take a relatively lower position in the space of in the field of MIE, considering the fact that at times monitoring and evaluation, as you have rightly mentioned, and every other speakers have alluded to it, that it's not about the monetary value, but it's about the impact that someone wants to offer as far as the practice of MIE is concerned. Thank you.
Could I try respond and also invite the other two speakers? I'm sure they'll have time to chime in. I think the first one was a comment, and really to encourage us. This also happened to me some time back. I would only look for job advertisements that mentioned monitoring and evaluation officer, or monitoring and evaluation manager, monitoring and evaluation associate. So just to encourage us not to limit us. Most of the job descriptions, when you read through, you realize that a job title, for example, what I do right now, I am a strategic information advisor. But basically, I am doing monitoring and evaluation, research and learning. In my previous job, I was a monitoring and evaluation advisor. So I would have shied off applying for a strategic information advisor. So some of these are basically job titles that doesn't necessarily describe the roles and the responsibilities of the job. The second comment, what was the second concern? It appeared to me, oh no, a lesser job. At times, I thank God also for the mentors that I have. Some of them are actually in HR. And one of the things they usually tell me is, taking a lower job sometimes. Now, this is when you're looking at it in terms of monetary. And when you grow, most organizations, assuming, so I'll use Kenya shillings or dollars, assuming you are earning $100, and then you take a lesser job that pays you $50. In your next job, or you want to move, most organizations will do a percentage to what your current pay is. I know there are deliberations on, you don't necessarily need to paying someone on what they're currently earning, but it should be on what they're bringing on the table, what the budget is like. But most organizations still do that. So the disadvantage that gets you into is, by the time you move to the $100 where you are, and even get over the $100, might take some time. And like I said, there is enough, more than enough for all of us. That one for sure, I know there's always enough. So if you feel that you're very strong in monitoring and you want to build your skills in research, look for those research opportunities that match your current or over and above. Get to that negotiating table and sell your skill and sell yourself. And for sure you will get that opportunity. Don't take a lower job. That is what I'll do to myself. I wouldn't take a lower job because I want to learn research, for instance. I'll go for a bigger one and negotiate and demonstrate my skills and say that with my added training, I believe that I can do research and those opportunities will come. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that your question have been answered, Mr. James. I see Shola's hand is up. Yeah, we'll just take this and then we'll call it a day here. So please unmute yourself and then ask your question, Shola. And then direct it to the person who's going to respond.
All right, thank you so much, Godwin, and the panelists for sharing so much information on this call. I have two questions, actually, and I wouldn't know. I think any of the panelists can just answer the questions. Thank you. My first question is about the academic background. I noticed that in most M&E job advertisements, the academic backgrounds are usually specified either a degree in social sciences, statistics, development studies, demography, and the likes. So for someone who is coming from the natural sciences background and is really interested in navigating a career in the M&E space, for me, for a person, my background is biochemistry, and even though I have taken courses in monitoring and evaluation, data analytics, and so on, I still find it difficult to get opportunity. And I think it's probably because of my background in the natural sciences. So my question on that is, what do you advise for someone who is not coming from the typical expected backgrounds for M&E? What is your advice for such a person to land opportunities with skills and probably volunteering experiences in the M&E space? My second question is, I noticed that for the panelists, most of them have worked in different thematic areas: climate, health, education, and so on. And usually my initial thought, about M&E was that maybe it would be better for one to probably specialize in a particular thematic area and become an expert in that area. But I'm learning something new this evening. So my question on that is, how do you advise a newbie in the M&E space to navigate when it comes to specializing? Is it better to specialize in a specific thematic area or to work across thematic areas, which is more beneficial? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would be happy to respond to your question. So it's absolutely wonderful, and I would say it's a very interesting question, and it will apply to all of the listeners. And yes, absolutely, when you are planning to think if you look into the current job market, so it's a very high demanding job market. There are a lot of talents who are continuously applying for the different roles, and specifically for the M&E role. But what I would give you an advice to all the youngsters, if you are particularly are looking for pursue your career in this specific M&E field, so I would request you to build your profile, to start with something with the professionally and the academically both of sides. So if I talk about the academic side, so if you look into the job career side, so you will find there is a job requirement from the social sciences for this specific task, and mastering the international relations or like project management. So these kind of the academic background that are the required for the joining this kind of a specific field. But I would also encourage, it's not only the academic education that you need to think, because if you are the master in the business administration or the management side, you can get involved into the system. But for starting the career in the M&E system, I advise you to, after the education, you can start your career as a internship. Like you can go into the internship side, and not only that you have the learning, but the experience also matters. Professional experiences also matter that you must have. So you have to build your portfolio, you have to build your resume in terms of getting an experience in the specific M&E field. I always encourage to my colleagues and the friends, you need to be specified in expert in your specified field. Whatever you have the academic background, but it's a requirement from the HR side or the getting involved into the system, but your practical experience also counts. It's not like that you have work on the 2 month for the M&E side and the 3 month for the program side. Like it will not create the good impression on the organization. So I would highly advise to the youngster like to start your career with any internship role, or to get involved or very entry-level role into the M&E system, like the M&E assistant or the M&E associate position into the system. And then you can grow there with the passage of the time, and then you can shine yourself after getting involved into this field. But you have to be very specified with this field. Yes, this field required a lot of like advancement and a lot of requirement, the technical knowledge. If you have the particular degree or the courses, then that will support you, like the data analytics course and the data management courses, and specifically for the data visualization, these kind of courses do you have. So it will support your application in a better manner. If you have also like plus the additional relevant background, because the relevant background experience is also matters. So yeah, these both are the combination I would advise to work on it, and you will be succeed. Yeah. Oh,
Okay, thank you very much. So I see a lot of people raising hands now, but for the sake of time, remember that this conversation is an ongoing one, and thankfully we all are part of the MIE sphere, so we can continue from there. So, but I'll just take Precious, and then that will be all for today. My sincere apologies. I don't want to keep our speakers more than we have already told them. So Precious, please ask your question and please be brief about it. Oh, I see Doctor's hand is up. Oh, this is okay, Precious.
Evening, everyone. I am calling from Nigeria, so it's evening over here. I was going to ask a question, but I think Mr. Anil has answered some of the questions as regards internship, because I have a law background. I just finished, and so I was going to ask, is there opportunities for people like who did not do social science or sociology? Because we know that some of the thematic areas health. But so I recently took up an internship as a programs assistant intern, because I was trying to basically learn things about program designing, program delivery, while like looking for internships or learning more about monitoring and evaluation. So I wanted to ask that in the long run, do you think those experiences would be helpful? But I think he has already answered the question. And my second question was going to be to Caren. I was going to ask, because you talked a lot about like mentorship and some of the mentors that you have met that have helped you along your journey. So like when you were starting out, what was, let's say, the approach you used for getting these people to mentor you when you were starting out, and maybe you didn't know as much as you do now? So what were some of those like approach that you used that you could say worked for you? So that's my
Okay, I think the question is directed to Caren. Let me check. If you're still on the call, she's asking some of the strategies you took to get mentors to mentor you. I think Caren I'm not sure Caren is on the call. She shared with me via WhatsApp that system battery is down. So I'm sure that has affected her. So, so we'll just move on since she's not on the call to respond to your question.
But I think Dr. Zakari and Kapoor are still on the call. I think if they can pick the question.
Yeah. So, sir, over to you. Anyone that wants to respond, she wants to know what are the practical steps she can take to get mentors.
So I think to answer that, I think I have answered part of that question. The youth evaluation group also every year identifies mentors. Mentors apply to it, and the mentees, and they link the individual evaluator with a mentor. That is one. Two, it is open. You can always identify an M&E in your project or any desired project to mentor you. I think it's open. In Nigeria, we do a lot of mentoring. Now, I will tell you that one of my staff was not M&E. She's an accountant. And somebody said, oh, she's looking for a job. And I said to her, if you want to go into M&E, please, you are welcome, and let's do it. And now she's been working with me, and she's now M&E, and she practices M&E. So in a typical Nigerian situation, all you need to do is to identify people that you think will mentor you. And to answer the first question that you think has been answered, in Nigeria, we have had situations where biological sciences, medical doctors become monitoring and evaluation. It depends on how you sell yourself. And that is what my colleague kept saying. You have to sell yourself. You have the background. Yes, the requirements may be social sciences, maybe economics, maybe medical field. By the time you sell yourself as a trained and professional monitoring and evaluation, the employers will have no option but to bring you in. Over.
Thank you very much. I think your question has been answered.
I would like to add brief one point. So I agreed with the Dr. Zakariya, and also I like to add one point. Like there are
so I see can allow our facilitators to.
Yeah, there is a one basic training that result-based management. So I would encourage to the fundamental of the monitoring and the evaluation system. So everybody like who belongs to the different field and really wanted to get involved in the M&E system. So he or she must be to get some basic education or basic like the training on the, because if you go into the M&E framework, so you will find the different terminologies of the results, like the output is also the result, like the outcome is also the result, like the intermediate output is also the result, and immediate output is also the result. So these are the some kind of the statement that you need to be clear your concept on this all terminologies, and you build your understanding and the knowledge very systematically. So I would highly encourage before starting and getting involved into the M&E system, you must have the background, at least knowledge that how you will go into the system and how you will move, because conducting the field monitoring activity is not the only the monitoring, because monitoring has associated with the knowledge management and the learning system as well. So I would encourage to get prepared when you are getting involved in this field. So you must have the background knowledge as well. Yeah, over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for adding your voice to the conversation. So, Shamsuddin, please 1 minute unmute, and then let's have your question, and then we'll call you today.
All right. Thank you so much, the moderator, and also our speakers today. Thank you so much for sharing those experiences, years or decades of experiences with us. My question, so I'm starting with my name. My name is Yao Shamsuddin, Dr. Yao Shamsuddin. I work in Abuja as well, in Nigeria. And I have been practicing M&E for roughly about 14 to 15 years now. And I think I enjoyed the conversation, especially the experiences from Dr. Zakari. So what I want to ask is actually my question is directed to him. I really wanted to know, looking at the fact that they are, or his cohort are actually the first or the second generation, as he called it, second generation of M&E specialists or expert, if I may say that. So my question is, sir, what are or were the major challenges that you experience in terms of evaluation? I think we've discussed extensively about monitoring. I really want to hear about some of the challenges starting your career in evaluation, or the first few evaluations you have conducted. What were the challenges, the most pronounced challenges that you experienced? So I really want to know what you experienced and how you came about them. And my second question, which is the last, is to I think our Kenyan, I don't know if she's still on the call, our Kenyan speaker. I just wanted to know their experiences in terms of, the challenges you have when you work internationally. Maybe you go to a country where they don't speak the language you speak. So there is a language challenge, apologies. Language challenge when it comes to an evaluation or third-party monitoring, be it outcome harvesting or whatever it is that you're tasked. How do you come about challenges of knowledge barriers? I ask this because it's really very instrumental. I am currently posted to Ukraine. So I'll be going to Ukraine in October this year for a UN assignment of 6 months. So I am really worried about the knowledge, the language. I know they speak Ukrainian and also Russian, and I have a bit of Russian, but I don't know how I can navigate around language barrier. So that's why I want to hear from you your experiences so that I can learn from that and prepare myself. Thank you so much, and over.
I am going to attempt to answer your two questions because I was in Bangladesh, although they speak some bits of English, and I was in Tanzania, although they speak English, but they speak other languages also. Now, to answer your first question, the major challenge in evaluation up till today is translating the evaluation questions into the evaluation tool, evaluation instruments. It's a big challenge. That is one. When you translate the evaluation questions into the instruments, the next challenge is translating those, is the local context. And this is key, and this has been a challenge and is still a challenge. You go to Kano, you go to Adamawa, you go to Borno, there are different contexts. And this applies to what you are going to do in Ukraine. When you go to Borno from Kano, you may not have the advantage of speaking their language. So these are challenges in terms of evaluation. The second challenge in terms of evaluation is getting the right mix of people with technology to collect data. So now you have with GIS, with coordinates, you are sure people are collecting data. Back then in 2000, it was very difficult because people sit under the tree to collect information, evaluation information for you, and you don't have a way of validating, ensuring the quality of information that you are analyzing and you are reporting. Now, trying to answer the second question, when you find yourself in Iraq or Iran or where are you going to? You have translators. People will have to translate. And people will have, especially if you are interacting with people. At your level in the UN, you have a common language, which is English. So you shouldn't be scared of that. But in terms of monitoring and evaluation, data is data, terminologies are terminologies. As long as they are translated into the language you specialize in, English, then you will be able to ensure that the systems, you are able to track the systems, you are able to develop whatever theory of change or development hypothesis. So I think you shouldn't be scared of that. Even within Nigeria, you go around to other areas where people don't speak your language and don't understand, or they don't comprehend your English. Over.
Thank you so much for responding to that. And Shamsuddin, I hope your question has been answered.
Yes, it has. Thank you. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Okay, great. Checking the chat box now if there's anything that calls for attention. Okay, someone is asking that she has worked in education and she'll be happy to reach out to doctor for support, I think. So from everyone on the call, we want to say a special thank you to our speakers. We understand how busy, MIE people can be, especially people like you who have worked and are still working and supporting so many organizations. Thank you for making our time to share your words of experience with us today. Please, let's appreciate them in the chat box. Let's appreciate Dr. Zakariya. Let's appreciate Caren. Her battery is down, but I'll let her know we are grateful, and then let's appreciate Annie. I understand. I think it's night over there. He's in Washington, but he's here on the call all through to this point. Thank you, and thank you so much. So for everyone on the call, if you're not part of the MIE Sphere WhatsApp platform, please do well to join the group, and then whatever information we have will relate it to you. If it's resources from our speakers, we will share that with you via the channel. If there's any opportunity, as you all know, we'll share that with you on the WhatsApp platform. From me and to everyone who has worked hard to put this together, we want to say a very thank you. Thank you for making our time to be here, and we wish everybody a very good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Godwin.
Yes, thank you very much, Godwin. It's my pleasure and privilege to be here.
All right. Yeah, in the chat, let's give them virtual appreciation as we all depart from here. Okay, link to the WhatsApp platform. So if you're not on the platform, kindly stay on. I'll just share the link here now. I'll share. If you're not part of the group, just give me a moment. I'll post the link so that you can join. Otherwise, you can drop your contact and I'll add you. Okay, I'm dropping the link now. If you're still here, please just give me a moment so that I can just click on it and then join instead of me to add one by one. Just give me that privilege while I do that. Just fetching the link now and then I'll drop it.
Okay, Godwin, I'm leaving the meeting, so thank you so much once again.
Oh, thank you very much, Annie. We are so super grateful. We wish you the very best of. I don't know, it's evening or day in Washington.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you all.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're on the call, just look in the chat box. I'm dropping that right away so that you can just click on it and then you'll be added to the group. My internet is delaying, but the link is coming up. I'll just do justice to that right now. What is happening? Shit. Okay, I think he's back now. So should be able to do that. Why now? Why now? No, I'm having a bit of trouble, but I'll do that now. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my network started acting up, but I'm joining with my phone now, so I can just share it on my phone instead of on the laptop here.
Recording in progress.
So, yeah, I just dropped that in the chat box. So once you click on it, it will take you to the WhatsApp platform. Thank you again. Thank you so much for availing yourself for this session and staying to the end. Okay, Philip, yes, as I get those information and sources I'll share. Once you're on the WhatsApp platform, you always get anything that has to do with MME. We'll share it on that platform. All right, great. John, thank you for joining. Thank you, Ajide, Esther, Mohammed, thank you. Andrew, thank you. I appreciate your patience. Thank you, Philip, and every other person who has stayed on to the call till this point. From me to you, it's a bye. We'll continue the conversation. Oh, I just see my friend Rispa from Kenya. I didn't know you're on the call. Glad to see you on the call. Goodness. Aminat, Godfrey, thank you, everybody. And I wish you all a beautiful rest of the day, wherever you're joining us from. You will to share the link with your friends who can also benefit being part of the WhatsApp group. Thank you, Elisha. Thank you, Afolabi. All right, I think I'll have to end the call now and then we'll continue on the WhatsApp group. Bye, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.